Hello, friends, and welcome back to the show. This is Coursen's Corner. My name is Spencer Coursen, and I am thrilled to have you back with us for another episode today. But before the show begins, if you could please like, share, subscribe, the team and I here would be very much appreciative, and it will only take you just a second of your time. So thank you, I love you, and now on with the show.
Son's name is Rush. He had a emergency surgery about 15, 16 hours after he was born because his esophagus was not attached to his stomach. So they did that. Bad. That's not good. Yeah. So we spent about...
That wasn't detected at all prior?
It wasn't.
Is there a way to detect that prior?
It's hard. It's really hard because, and I say that because we're prepping for a heart surgery on July 15th that they did catch at like the big ultrasound at week 20. So
I say that like I'm a father. I have no idea.
No.
But yeah, it sounds like
all right. So week 20, you do like a kind of like a full scan in there for a long time.
Yeah.
Ultrasound.
And that's like a full everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, full everything. And so they found the heart issue. Basically, he's got it's called an overriding aorta with a VSD. Basically, he's got a little hole in one of his walls, and they need to go in and patch it up. And so they found that at week 20. It's an open heart surgery. It goes on the whole heart lung bypass machine, all that fun stuff. But it's actually a pretty straightforward, uncomplicated surgery.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
now.
I remember my grandfather had his first heart attack, and he was like one of the first candidates to do like open heart surgery. And they're like, we think this might work.
We'll see how this goes.
Now the doctors are doing it like, I think it's outpatient.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's incredible. So after that, I mean, we were there every week, doing appointments and all that, and they still missed it. But it was, my partner Tasha had a lot of amniotic fluid, and turns out that it's because he wasn't swallowing and it wasn't passing through. And so, yeah, when he was born, they figured out the esophagus thing because they were already doing scans of the heart, and he was kind of like gurgling a lot.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we need to look at that. We're having to clear him a little more than normal. Sure enough.
Right. So maybe first, and I know this only from like watching TV and movies, but they have to like clap the baby, right, to get to like start breathing on its own. How many kids do you have?
This is my first.
Yeah.
This is my first. So,
just
but it was like
right off the bat.
Yeah, man, just get all the hard stuff out of the way.
I know how protective I am of like nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
I can only imagine like how protective you are of like your own child.
Yeah.
And then like as soon as they're born for like there to be that, like what's that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a trip. So, I mean, he was born at 3:30 p.m. By 11:30 p.m., they came into our room and said that they were transferring to Dell Children's to prep him for surgery. So typically the mom will be at the hospital for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So that next morning, 12, call it 17 hours after he was born, had to leave Tasha at St. David's.
And go with him
and rush over to Dell to be with him pre-surgery. And yeah, I mean, it was very lonely. I was in a pre-op room by myself because Tasha was still fighting to get discharged.
Right. Did you have family with you, friends with you?
It was just me at this point. So I'm holding my son. He's got a million tubes coming out of him because they're prepping him, and nurses and doctors running around prepping him. I'm texting Tasha, and finally she's like, all right, I'm out. Like, don't let him take him. And so I like tell them, I'm like, she's going to be here in 10 minutes. Can we wait?
Right. Yeah.
And literally about a minute before, they were like, we got to go, her and my mom come. Well, Tasha's a beast, man. She was pretty much jogging down. So she got
baby.
Yeah. So she got to spend a few minutes with him before the surgery, and then he goes into surgery and spent 33 days in the NICU.
Shit.
Yeah. But that moment being in the pre-op room by myself, it was very much a what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. There's no atheist in that room.
Yeah. So very, kind of highest of highs, and then what the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So he's all good though. He's getting fat. He's getting, he's healthy.
Good.
He's a happy baby, all that.
Whew.
Um,
Something about babies, man.
yeah,
It's
dude,
just like they're so dependent.
tugs at the whole heartstrings.
Fuck.
So now we've got the heart surgery coming up in a couple weeks, and hopefully that will be the majority of it.
I imagine that, like, something like that happens, like everyone like kind of like, oh, how's the wife, how's the mother, right?
Sure.
Anyone reaching out to you? Like, did you?
Yeah,
have to,
we've
did you
got a good
process that
support.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
good.
got a good support system. One of
Not that they shouldn't be. How's the wife? How's the mother?
for sure,
right?
for sure. No, I mean even me. I mean my concern was much more on Tasha and the baby. But yeah, people were reaching out,
Good.
making sure.
Yeah.
And it was one of the. I saw your dogs, about your dog, and that story. Wow.
I know, it's fucking
and
amazing.
kind of my version of that was finally getting home after all this whirlwind, because I had to go let him out and feed him, and I'm sitting there, and it's the first time that I'm kind of by myself since the pre-op, and I sit down, and and I finally like got some release, and started tearing up, and just kind of like sat there like, and he comes up, and I mean at the time I'd had him 3 months, and he comes up and he puts his head on me, is looking up at me, and starts like licking my tears like real softly. I'm like, all right, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm better.
Yeah. It's fun. I can be having like a really shitty day.
Yeah.
And like Ronald just come up to me like, oh,
Yeah.
because he has this like
Best day ever.
Yeah, it's so fucking funny, man. Like I combat my own burnout or like stress by like making sure I have like 4 things that bring me joy every day.
Nice.
And the first one is the dog park with Ronan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 6:30 in the morning, we're out there as the sun's coming up, like throwing frisbee. He does his
Awesome.
like, bro, like, you can't get me kind of a thing.
Because he's a Mal too, right?
No, he's a German Shepherd.
Okay.
Full GSD.
Okay.
Both of his parents
Amazing.
were service dog, military working dogs.
Okay.
They had an unexpected litter, and a guy put like hey,
Yeah.
any Rangers, put like a Ranger Facebook thing, like
Amazing.
anyone wants a service dog, like come on down.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, we got trained up together, got him.
I start my day, not start, I mean, do stuff with Rush, feed him, and usually up with him about 5 a.m. And then about 6 or 6:30, Tasha will come in and take over, and then Koozie and I run out and head to the field and put in a big session.
Video on your feed of him like fucking with the cat.
Oh yeah.
That is
Every day.
all right. So these are ManBar.
Yes.
Talk to me about these.
Yes, sir. I started this company. We launched about last July. And it is a regeneratively sourced in the US. So all good. No importing meat. A lot of your big meat stick companies will import from New Zealand, Australia, China, Brazil, wherever. So I want to support regenerative ranchers here in the US. So we source exclusively in the US, and then I use for the fermentation process, I use a starter culture made out of beets. And thank you. Make a starter culture out of beets, and that introduces probiotics and the full profile of acid, and so just a clean, healthy version of a meat stick.
It's fucking good.
Thank you.
Like I was gonna say it was good even if it tasted like shit. Actually, no, it's not true. I would tell you if it tastes like shit. This is exceptionally good.
I wouldn't have brought it if it tasted like shit.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So it's all grass-fed and finished bison, and then I supplement it with beef fat because I want a high-calorie, high-fat, high-protein stick. Because
Dude, this is excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Like, and I eat a lot of these.
Like
I always have them in my kit. I travel with all the time. And there's always like the jerkiness, which is like, it's almost just like too tough.
Sure.
Or like if you do some of the ones that are like, I don't even know how you would kind of this vein, but they taste like fake.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
can get into that for sure.
Yeah, this tastes like I went to Jay Carver's last night and it was like leftover.
Thank you.
This is excellent.
Thank you.
Like this is really good.
Thank you.
Like I'm
Thank
buying
you.
more of these. Like,
Thank you.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I formulated that. It took about a year and a half, and then we went to market.
If you're not going to eat that, I will.
Please do. Yeah, I will, but no, I want you to have those. So yeah, about a year and a half of formulation, then we launched. But yeah, so the starter culture is a big reason. It allows me to carry more moisture, meaning I can carry more fat, and it also avoids encapsulated acids, which are like your chomps and most of your sticks use. That is generally a synthetic acid encapsulated in a hydrogenated oil, a palm oil, a seed oil, something.
Okay.
So that's what gives you that waxy kind of fake aftertaste,
that, like, waxiness,
and we get to avoid all of that.
Yeah.
And so
There's
instead
none
of
of that.
none of that, no. So instead of that, we get like a nice little, slight little tang from the fermentation, just subtle. And then also, but that's your life cultures, your probiotics that are in there.
No,
so a lot,
really good.
Thank you so much. So a lot easier to digest. And then I made them really big and loaded them with fat because I wanted the calories and the energy.
How many calories is it per stick?
210.
Whole list, 210.
Yes, sir.
How much protein?
12 grams of protein, but 17 grams of fat. And so that
That'll curb your appetite.
Absolutely. Yeah. The whole point is, on one hand, it's, I kind of always been interested in the nutrition health side of things, always been very active in that world. I also hunt and I like to cook. And so it's kind of the intersection of those three things.
So
when I'm hunting, when I'm snowboarding, all that, that's what I formulated it for, because I want something to kind of stick to the ribs to allow you to keep doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's the spiel.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Really, really great. So I love origin stories and pivot points.
Okay.
So did you grow up as a chef? Like, did you go to school for like culinary arts? Like, how did this all? Okay.
Yeah, almost. So I was very into
So you were born at an early age?
very into cooking. So my mom got me into cooking for a few years. It was just her and I.
Okay.
And so probably when I was...
Is that the old man walked out? Did he get killed?
No, he was just in he was in a different state. Okay. And so...
How old were you when that happened?
Oh, young. I mean, 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like 6. But
so when I was about 4, my mom just had me start cooking. She was working late hours and sometimes she just needed help. So, I mean, by the age of like 5, I was cooking dinner and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. So almost went to culinary school. At the last minute decided against it, went the complete opposite route and did physics and engineering.
Which I'm sure helps.
Yeah, all that, quick aside, all that physics, engineering, math, it just teaches you to problem solve.
Okay.
So principally, if you take that away from it, that then can be applied to anything
I never
else.
really thought of it that way. Because like if you go to like any of the military academies, like you come out with like an engineering degree, and it's probably a very similar problem solving structure.
Yeah, that's how I view it. In its simplest form, you're just solving problems.
Yeah. So we need to get from here to here, build us a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the unknowns. Here's the knowns.
Yeah. Let's
solve for the unknowns.
Yeah.
And
that's
just
interesting. I've never heard it phrased that way, but that's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah. So always cooked, always been into cooking, started hunting probably 8 or 10 years ago at this point. And
who taught you to hunt?
My boss, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So he had a ranch out in Blanco, Texas. Went out there and he was always bringing me meat during season, and I'd go home and I'd cook it, and I was enjoying it. And it was a year or 2 went by, and I was like, wait, why aren't I doing this? And so he took me out there and kind of showed me the ropes. And
the first time you dress a deer is a very...
Do what?
The first time you dress a deer.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's just like, oh wow, this is like it's. I felt like a real connection to like how people used to live.
Absolutely. I got hooked. So we did it. So was successful on my first hunt. It was a few days before Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, I smoked a backstrap, for Thanksgiving dinner. Of course, we had the turkey and everything else, but everyone was so interested in the backstrap, and, all my family's eating, we're around it. Everyone's eating it. Everyone's enjoying it. They're asking questions about the hunt. And I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's like, all right, let's just dive headfirst into this.
Yeah, it's great.
So
yeah, there's something ritualistic, and I don't want to say like masculine about it, but like almost like a connection to our history.
Sure.
That like if you take like the human evolution like on a timeline, and it's like 100-page book, it's like the last 3 sentences are us being able to go to a grocery store.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Like the other 999.999% of that book is us having to, you didn't eat if you didn't hunt it and kill it.
Exactly.
And so it's a lost art.
Yeah, it just made all the sense in the world when I did it.
Yeah.
And
like we did a trap and kill class like in Ranger School, but it was like a chicken. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. Like chicken's not going to feed you for very long.
Yeah.
But like a deer will feed your family for a year.
Absolutely.
Or at least an elk will.
I mean, I killed one of the deer I took this year. I just turned into dog food, and that's what I've been feeding Koozie. So next, I've got access to some places that have MLD tags, so they don't count against your permits.
Yeah.
So this next year, I'm probably going to take 4 or 5 deer just for him.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll feed him next
great.
year. Yeah.
Which is exactly how they should be fed.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize that like dog food didn't really come into existence until World War II.
Yeah.
They started had like rationing food.
Right.
And they turned like just the byproducts into this like what we now know as kibble.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, they've always, I mean, even the age of dogs used to be, I mean, even bigger dogs, 15, 18, 20 years old, like consistently. And it's going down for the same reasons that humans' health and all that is going down.
I switched running over to just basically like meat, chicken, vegetables. Do some farmer's dog like if we're traveling and stuff. But
what the best bang for your buck is Hudson's meat processor on South Congress.
Oh, yeah.
$3.15 for a pound of beef organs, vegetable, fish oil.
Really?
It's amazing.
Huh. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
because I've gotten some like good steaks and stuff from there.
Yeah. Ask them about their dog food next time, because it's the best bang for the buck I've found.
I live like right around the corner, so
nice.
It's super easy. So how did ManBar come into the fray?
So you were talking about pivot, kind of origins and pivot stories. I'll give you both in one. So I was making I had all this meat in my freezer from hunting animals. I mean, I had a wild pig, whitetail, axis, aoudad. I kind of had a whole plethora of
What's that restaurant on like West 6th that like serves all the
Daidui?
Yeah.
Kind of like So that was my freezer. So I had a bunch of meat in the freezer and was kind of getting bored with everything that I had been doing with it. And so I was took like a week, and I was like, I'm just going to cook new recipes. But one of the things I was doing at the time is I was eating basically a meat and nut breakfast, which was popularized by Charles Poliquin back in the day. And it's really just get your high proteins and fats kind of first thing in the morning. So I literally was eating a bag of beef jerky, and I had a handful of whatever nut I was eating that day. And I mean, it literally was like, this would be a lot more convenient if, if you just pressed it into one.
There was a company called, I don't know if they're still, but like Paleo Packs or something.
Okay.
And it was not dissimilar to what you just described, but it was basically like a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
That had like some beef jerky, some like dried cherries, like some like cashews, and it was just basically like if you're on the go.
Yeah.
This is like the height of CrossFit and like the paleo diet and all that stuff. But it was an interesting concept, but it was so fucking expensive.
Yeah. So similar to that, and so I just started getting in the kitchen, and I was mixing that meat with different nuts and would throw in some cranberries or blueberries sometimes, and kind of started making a dehydrated pemmican.
Okay.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And so that took off in my friend group pretty quickly. Wasn't even thinking about starting a business, just wanted them to try it. Just like, you cook a steak for your friends.
Were you how were you packaging it?
I really was. It was literally like in a Tupperware in my fridge.
Really?
Yeah. So it was just, they'd come over and I'd be like, hey, try this.
Just throw a spoon in it.
Yeah. And they'd be like, what's this? Like, why is it? I mean, I'd shaped them into like little bars and stuff.
Okay.
And so
that's cool.
They'd come over, they'd eat it. They loved it. They'd ask about it. It's like, what a unique combination. I'd like kind of go into all the physical and mental benefits of high protein and fat and why I made them. And 100% of the time they're like, can I pay you to make these for me? And so within like a month, I mean, I probably had like 15 of my buddies that were paying me to make them these bars.
Really?
And they were like, and I still at that time was not thinking of starting a business with it. I was, it's just, I'll do this for my buddies. But they kept pressing me and started kind of opening it up a little bit. And then, man, I made some samples and just old school went out and talked to people and was just like, hey, will you try this? Just wanted feedback to see, because maybe your boys are gassing you up. Maybe they're just trying to help you. But I did like $4,000 in pre-sales in like 3 days. And I was like, oh, I better figure this out.
Just bootstrapping it yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't, the plan wasn't even to take pre-sales. They were just like, how can I buy these right now?
How did it, no, talk to me through the process.
Yeah. So that started kind of the journey towards, all right, I better figure this out and let's make a product out of this. So kept doing the meat and nut bar, which is originally where the name comes from. And got to a point where it was like, all right, I can only do so much.
I just got that meat and nut,
So
I'm a little slow on the uptick.
Hey man, all good.
ManBar, meat and nut. The man is the meat and nut.
Well, now it's confusing because there's no nuts in it and it's not a bar, but everyone loved the name, so I just kept it. So yeah, basically started looking for manufacturers because I got to a point where it was just too much to do in my kitchen. Ran into some issues with the nuts. Basically, no meat facility wants to introduce allergens into their facility.
Right. Because then they can't make everything else.
Essentially, just what's the purpose of the nuts? It's the fat, more satiating. So I just replaced the nut. At the time, it was a bison and almond bar. It was going to be my first product. Just replaced the almonds with beef fat, and then no longer needed it in bar form.
ManBar isn't as good.
Made a stick, and here we are.
That's amazing.
So,
really, really great.
So yeah, that's the pivot part where it was.
And then how long ago was that?
Oh God. Well, we launched last July, so that would have been.
You're new.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. We're almost a year old, so that would have been, call it. I mean, gosh, I don't know, 6 to 9 months before that.
Yeah.
So within the last 2 years.
What was your day-to-day job up until that point?
Engineering, oil and gas engineering. Yeah. So I still do that.
Okay.
Just in a really nice setup where it's kind of a lifestyle company at this point.
That's great.
But yeah, I did that in the Middle East and Europe, kind of all over, and then moved back for 6 months, 12 years ago.
Where were you in the Middle East?
Qatar. Oh, okay. I was in Doha. Doha for like 2.5 years. Yeah. Nowhere scary.
Did you get to see any of the World Cup when I was over there?
I left before that. I almost went back to go check it out because I've still got buddies over there. Yeah. But
that whole UAE, how much it's like changed over like the last like 20 years is just
insane.
Wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wild.
Even from I left Qatar and then went back probably 5 years later. And just even in that time, it was like 20 years had passed.
When was the first time I was in Abu Dhabi? Probably like 06.
Yeah.
And like from like 06 to 16 was just like
insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. It's have you ever seen the movie Chef? With, Jon Favreau. Like the food truck.
Great movie.
So there's a scene where they come to Austin, right? They go to Franklin's and then I think they go to like Guero's or something, South Congress. And then the next morning as they're leaving town to go to wherever they're going, there's a scene where they come across the South Congress Bridge. And you can see what it, at that time was maybe Luster Pearl on Rainy Street and not much else.
Dude.
And it's just nothing. It's trees.
Yeah.
It's like where the bats would and trees.
Yeah.
And now you look at that bridge and it's just like this whole thing. That's very similar to what it was like in the Middle East.
It was, I mean, in
the Emirates.
In Doha, it was, I mean, it wasn't that long ago where it was like 2 roads and then the Sheraton Hotel that's kind of shaped like a pyramid and a couple small buildings. And now it's, I mean, it rivals any skyline in the world. You know, and that's not,
it's other than like the
long.
Burj Al Arab and the Al Khalifa, it's almost indistinguishable from Dubai.
Yeah, oh, it's insane.
Yeah. It's like, you know, like each city is like only kind of like, you know, it's Austin because of like Frost Tower. You know, it's like New York because of the Chrysler Building and Freedom Tower. It's Chicago because of Sears Tower. But you take away those landmarks, and it's I don't know, Vancouver.
Sure,
right? Not much difference.
Yeah.
but it's insane how much that's worked out. But talk to me about, like, how do you bring something this new to market? Is it word of mouth? Is it?
For me, it's been word of mouth this first year. I kind of actively avoided social media for the most part, personally. And so I, coming into it as a full newbie, didn't know anything about anything. But what I did is actually, to launch the company, is I went back to all of those people that were buying the bars.
Yeah.
And at that time, I probably had an email list of maybe, I don't know, 50, 70 people. And I emailed them and I was like, hey, just said, hey, this is what's going on. No longer making the bars. I'm now making these sticks. Here's some pictures of them. Here's some reviews. Because I had, a dozen or so friends try them and just tell me what you think. Be honest. Sent that out and did 25 grand in pre-sales.
Wow.
From that. And so that was my startup capital to fund the first run. And yeah, we're still around.
How did you have to like A/B test, like, they can buy single sticks versus like buying like 5 sticks versus like 20 sticks, and then like how do you come up with like the price point to make it worth your while?
Yeah.
But also,
well, for the pre-sales, I basically pre-sold 10 and 20 sticks a month.
Okay.
So I was selling them in packs of 10, and yeah, I just pre-sold those for the year. You'd get either 10 sticks a month or 20 sticks a month, depending on how
almost
much.
like a subscription model.
Yeah. So that's how it started. And then in the beginning, we were just doing 10 sticks for everyone. And then it's just a lot of trial and error. So we did 3 for a little while. Now we've got, just because it is a little bit of a higher price point, we've got a single stick if you just want to try it. And then we've got 5 and 10 packs. And then we run free subscriptions free shipping on all the subscriptions, which you can do for either the 5 or the 10.
Oh, that's cool.
So
at the beginning of the year, I kind of looked at my business and was like, realized I had taken the business as far as like I could go as like a solopreneur.
Okay.
And if I wanted to grow,
Sure.
I was going to have to like either bring on some investors or do some strategic hires. And I realized very quickly that, the old Jay-Z line, like, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
I'm not a businessman. Don't know anything about, like, I know what I know.
Sure.
Very well, but I don't know like strategic growth and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it's been a very interesting, like I say, like the last 6 months of like kind of exploring how to do things. Now, on the one hand, I was very fortunate enough to have a career where I got to sit in the front of the car, the back of the plane with like some of the world's most influential people, right? And like hear how they did things and kind of, so in a way, it was like this like masterclass in like how crisis management and problem solving and strategic thinking gets done. But I knew nothing about like market cap or like credit to debt ratios and all that shit. Is that something that did you already have that tool in your Batman belt, or did you have to like find some advisors to kind of like, or was it more trial and error?
Honestly, I've just kind of been going with my gut for the most part. There's a couple buddies that I'll run stuff by.
Yeah.
I would say that stuff was not in my tool belt when I started. And yeah, I mean, you kind of, you figure stuff back to the problem solving, the engineering and physics, just, all right, here's the thing I don't know the answer to. Let's go find the answer. At some point, like I just hired someone to come on full time, and then we will continue to tweak things, and then hopefully sometime here in the next couple months we'll kind of start pouring a little gasoline on the fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not in a, it's like how do I say this?
English would help.
Yeah. I'm not in a rush. Like, I'm not one of these, like, let's build $100 million business in the next 4 years. But like it's like every day it's like, let's not waste time.
Yeah.
But so it's not like I haven't really taken on any investors yet. I haven't.
Would you?
Yeah, I wanna get to a point where where I need it.
Right.
Rather than just go out and get it and say we're gonna figure it out. I'd rather just my own personal. If I'm gonna take someone else's money, I want to show them like, no, we got it. I just need more money to throw at it.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I am right now. It's like I know what I can. I know where I want the business to go.
Yeah,
and I'm perfectly willing to do it myself. Just like outside money, we just make it faster.
Yeah. It's my goal this year is to hire a couple more people and delegate more because of my son's stuff.
Right.
I just need to be a little more present at home. Not that I'm not, but I just that's the priority.
Oh, 100%.
And
Family first always.
So getting people to do some of the other stuff that isn't really even my strong suit.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know who like Cody
sense.
Sanchez is, but she's a good friend of mine, and she's got great business advice. And she's always the first thing she ever says is like, the first job of a CEO is to fire yourself from as many jobs as possible.
She remind me who she is.
She runs Contrarian Investments. She's big on
the boring business. Okay, yeah. I knew that name.
Yeah, she's great.
She is great. Yeah, I've seen some of her videos in the past.
She's very, very good. But her whole thing on like being a CEO is fire yourself from as many jobs as possible.
Yeah, I enjoy making the product. We actually I'm in the process of finalizing. I'm going to do a spicy hatch chili version next.
That'd be cool. I was going to ask you if there's any other flavors.
Right now, it's just that one.
That one's pretty goddamn good.
Wanted to keep it simple for at least the first year. So year 2, we're going to at least launch this spicy hatch chili one. Maybe one more, but probably just that one.
Yeah.
And then so I like doing that. I like doing this. I've got like the vision and the tone and all of, the verbiage that you want, the branding, but now it's like finding people to go make this reality.
Have you ever read Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans?
I haven't, yes. I've read a blurb about it. It's not a book, right?
No, it was like an article. I think he wrote
I've read the article.
Yes, and it's been repurposed.
Yeah,
I think Tim Ferriss like championed it for a while.
Sure.
There's like if you Google it on like YouTube, there's like 3-minute recaps with like animation and stuff. But the underlying theory is like I know who your 1,000 true fans are,
right?
And always like cater to their needs, wants, and desires, because they are going to be the mavens of the marketplace that are going to serve as your marketing team to tell everyone, all their friends about it.
Sure.
So just stay loyal to them. Don't make something spicy unless they want it spicy.
Gotcha. That is my number one request. So
exactly. So know what your audience
We're doing
wants.
all right.
Where entrepreneurs get themselves into trouble is like, I think it'd be fun to do new Coke.
Sure.
Is anyone asking for new Coke?
Right.
Then don't do it.
Yeah. No, we're going to keep
But yeah, if everyone's asking if they love your vanilla, it'd be great if you have a mint chocolate chip, give them mint chocolate chip.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Look when I was making my tactical pens. And they're like, do you have rose gold? Well, after like 100 person asked me if I had rose gold, I was like, maybe we should get some rose gold.
Yeah, let's get some rose gold. I wanted to ask you about those. I saw on maybe we should cut this out, but on your website, there's 2 places to buy them and they're different prices. Is that on purpose? Are they different
on the
pens
running sticks?
Yeah. One of them's $35 and one of them's $25. So I was going to buy one yesterday and I didn't know.
I'll give you one. Wow. But now I'm going to look on the website and see what you're talking about. RONIN6.
So if you go to
Tactical pens?
Yeah, go to there. That one's what, 35?
35.
All right, now go up. Go to apparel and gear. And I think it's all the way at the bottom. No. Yeah, on the
no, it's right here.
Yeah, there. Yep. Is that one 25?
This one's 25.
Okay.
Yep. That means someone didn't update the price on the apparel and gear, but they did on the tactical pen page. If you bought it on that page, you would get it for $10 cheaper.
Well, that's
which is kind of funny.
I wanted to ask if there was a difference because I'll buy the 35 one to help support, but
I'll give you one.
Several of them. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you alerting me that I was $10 cheaper if you just had a different page on the website.
I was like, they're labeled the same thing. But
just so you guys know, I fixed it by the time this episode came out. But that also shows the importance of when you own your own business that you inspect what you expect. Because I first off, didn't even know they were for sale.
Oh, funny.
On the apparel page. I thought the whole reason we had a tactical pen page was because that's where you would go to get them.
I mean, That would make sense.
That's pretty funny. So thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Yeah, for sure.
No, because of all like the tariffs and everything, the price on the pens went up, so we had, to pass that cost on to the consumer.
Absolutely. Got it.
When you made the decision to stop making the bars at home, and you realized you wanted to outsource them, did you just like Google, hey, like who can make what factories in Texas that make meat products? Like, how do you even know where that next step comes?
So, yeah, kind of back to the problem solving is as you're starting this, you're just networking with other people. Kind of all I was hearing, everyone was like, "Are you making these yourself?" At the time, yes, right. And then you start asking about co-packers, manufacturers, and always.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like, did you already have like a website at this point, or? Okay, it was all word of mouth.
Yeah, all word of mouth.
Did you know like if ManBar.com was going to be available?
I had looked.
Okay.
Yeah, I had looked after I started doing that because it was just a placeholder name for a while because it was I was just literally tired of saying meat nut bar. Yeah. And then I thought ManBar was hilarious with just like all the gender stuff going on and all that. And so
very kismet.
Yeah, I kept it. And I was just telling them, I was like, I don't know, it's a placeholder name right now, but this is what I'm using. But just everyone was like, you have to call it that. And so
it's a great name.
Emotional reactions from everyone.
Even like the font and like the black on white.
Thank you.
The original. Everything about it, like the American meat sticks.
Try to keep stuff simple, man.
I like how it's like, I don't know if you watched Andor.
You
didn't watch Andor? You a science fiction fan? Like Star Wars or something like that?
Yeah, sometimes.
For those of you, spoiler warning if you haven't seen Andor. So it's like, did you see Rogue One?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the backstory to Rogue One.
Okay.
But it's Tony Gilroy, who is one of the best screenwriters like working in Hollywood right now.
Okay.
And hates Star Wars.
Okay.
Was like, listen, if you're going to do this, he basically, little Spencer Coursen sidebar here. So Tony Gilroy is like probably most famous for writing Michael Clayton with George Clooney and writing the Bourne Identity movies.
Okay.
So he's got legit chops. But he's made his bread and butter in Hollywood being a script doctor.
Okay.
Hey, we've got a pretty good script, but it needs to be punched up here. It could use some more dialogue. The ending's not quite right. And so Rogue One had like a notoriously like really problematic production.
Okay.
And they brought Tony Gilroy in to clean it up. And he did a great job. Made a whole bunch of money and everyone's very happy. And so Disney was just starting Disney Plus at the time. And they were thinking about like leaning into Star Wars. And he was like, listen, there was a thing they wanted to do with Andor and like turn it into this like 30-minute TV show, like featuring the robot and blah, 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 blah. And as he says, like in some fit of optimism and being a nice guy, he wrote this like 10-page manifesto to Kathleen Kennedy, who was like the president of Disney. He was like, listen, I don't think you should do this, but if you're going to do this, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Right? You basically take this guy and you go back to like when he was at his worst and you show him becoming this leader and you show how the sparks of a rebellion can grow into the fire of a revolution.
Yeah.
And you do it over like a 5 series or blah, blah, blah. And it just so happened that Disney was starting the streaming service and had all this money to throw him. And so they threw him like a fucking boatload of cash. She was like, fine, but we are not saying the Force.
Yeah.
There will be no lightsabers.
I love it.
There will be no this. There'll be no that. Like we can do this. And he is a student of revolution.
Okay.
From like the Mongols to the French to the Americans.
Wow.
And so he basically took all of those like real world stories of how do revolutions, like who are the initial agitators, who are the people that are like the financiers, who are the people that like are kind of like forward facing in this one vein, but then like being like problematic and subversive like on the other end. And he incorporated like all of this. And so it is like a World War II spy thriller that every once in a while will have a spaceship.
Oh, amazing.
I say all of that because on the title card of Andor, it's the same A.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was very cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
So my question to you, wild fucking preamble, was who designed the graphics of the ManBar?
Mostly me, and then I had a buddy come in and kind of put some finishing touches on it. The A's are like that because it reminded me of mountains and arrowheads.
Okay.
And
I can see
so
that.
wanted this to be wanted bold lettering, and then wanted to do something different with those to kind of do the outdoor hunting, that whole theme. So that's the reason they're like that.
Oh, that's funny. Because in Andor, it's like the tip of the spaceship that like comes in and like forms
Very cool.
But it's a great font. Sorry, I distracted you when you were looking
I love it.
for production companies to make your meat.
Yeah,
the factories.
Yeah. So
This is why I take notes, because my ADD takes me everywhere.
Good, man. I'm glad you remembered what we were talking about, because I didn't. So yeah, so co-packers. Just through the conversation, through networking, all of that, pretty much everyone was like, co-packers. It will
Is
stress.
that a term that was even on your radar?
When I first started, no.
Okay.
Manufacturing was, but so. Yeah, just everyone says it's a headache. It takes forever. It takes longer than you think. Get started now, even if you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
And that turned out to be mostly true. But what I did find out...
I mean, that's a tenet of business, right? It's always going to take longer and be more difficult.
For sure. Yeah, that's biggest lesson. It's just everything takes longer and costs more, for sure. But...
Build a house.
I had found out that... every meat product has to have a USDA number associated with it that goes back to the co-packer, so they can track where it's made from in case there's any issues with it.
That tracks.
People get sick, whatever. So I was just going around and I'd just look at every meat product and I'd get that number, and then I found a database online that has, just a database of all those numbers. So I'd go on there, I'd type in the number, it'd tell me, give me the information where it was, and then I'd go look up those people and reach out to them. So that was kind of my back door of
fucking smart.
that was my back door on how to start talking to people and all that. So that's
really fucking clever.
I mean, back to it's just you just got to get started on stuff, and then you figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's how I started talking with co-packers, and talked to quite a few of them. None of them would do nuts. Most of them didn't want to do bars anymore. They were like, the meat bar game's over, blah, blah, blah. There was always some excuse.
Was there anyone else in the meat bar?
Like Epic had theirs back in the day. Epic Provisions.
I mean, there's you walk through a Whole Foods, there's like a million
there's
power bars.
There's those types, bars, but the actual meat bars, it was like Tonka, I think, was the first one. They had a really good one. I don't believe they're in business anymore. Epic came out and really like crushed it. They're actually out of Austin.
Are they? I don't know them. EPIC?
Huh. They sold now. But the people that, funny enough, I went to high school with them. I didn't really know them, but
you're from Austin.
I am, yeah.
Oh, cool.
But they started Force of Nature.
Oh,
yeah, okay. And they've got Rome Ranch out in Fredericksburg,
right?
So that all the same people.
Interesting. Yeah, I know who those guys are.
So they were. Yeah, they were around, but really not many people were doing the bars, and so there was just always pushback from the co-packers, because from their point of view, they just want to do stuff their way with their best case for them.
They don't want to.
They're just white labeling their recipes for other people is like best case scenario for them. So took a while to find one that would work with me, that would work with not do the encapsulated acids, that would make a bigger stick, that. So that just took time, but I found a great.
That's not uncommon. I remember working for I was doing a project for this one company, and they wanted to come up with like their own kind of like company bar, right? That was like healthy, nutritious. Okay. And they went through this like whole thing, and they're like, "Yeah, we already make these for like 10 other people. Just put your logo on it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, that's fine."
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, no,
company X bar.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's the same ingredients as
Well, and that's why all your beef jerky, all your meat sticks, all that stuff tastes the same.
Well, that is, honestly, dude, one of the first things that because if you eat, let's say you walk into a gas station and there's 10 choices of like beef sticks, they are indistinguishable from one another.
For sure.
As soon as I bit into that, I was like, this is fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
for sure.
So Kudos to you.
Thank you.
So how did you wind up deciding on like who it was that would actually use your products and at the right price point? Is that like a trial and error? Is it like, hey, we'll do like a test run?
Yeah, so you do a test run. Eventually, after a lot of trial and error, even like signing NDAs with some other guys, and then just like conversate, and then them just stop responding to emails and stuff. It's finally found someone that had the right fermentation process that would work with me on the size. They just would work with me, and their communication was great.
Yeah.
Once I decided to go with them, I sent them the formula, and I mean within a month, I had sticks back.
Really?
And they were good enough to go to market, but they weren't exactly what I wanted.
Right.
So I tweaked a few things, sent it back, and then the second one they sent me was just, was off the charts. And I took one bite and I was like, this is it, let's go.
Is that just because how the ingredients, how you make them in a kitchen, it just doesn't necessarily translate to like mass production? Or is it?
Yeah, they
you know what I mean? Because like sometimes in volume things just like.
Yes, volume is it's a lot
I'm just thinking of that scene in Casino where Robert De Niro is like, one person's got the blueberry muffin, he's got the blueberry muffin. He's like, how come yours has so many more blueberries than mine?
Right.
And he goes in the kitchen, I want every muffin to have the same number of blueberries.
Yep.
It's like, you know how long that will take?
Similar to that. It's a lot easier to grill one chicken breast than 5,000.
Exactly.
Basically the first one didn't have enough fat in it. They were smaller. And then because of the culture, the fermentation process, that I couldn't really do at home.
Right.
And so with that, it just kind of tweaked the flavor profile slightly. So I just tweaked a few of the spices and sent it back. And
you already knew. So like when the first one came back, was it already like labeled like this?
No, it was, they sent them basically just air sealed a bunch, 200 sticks together.
Just in
a block. And so I opened that up and then would just take those out. And
where are you selling these now?
Mostly online on our website, but we're also
ManBar.com?
Try ManBar.
Try ManBar.
TRY. We're also in local pastures, just this one right here and the other location.
How does that process work? Like, do you have to? I sit on a committee for safely self-defense that does like pepper spray and self-defense tools, and like going out like and getting them into like stores is like a whole other echelon and vertical of like the business model that I was like, how do you get it into Target? Like, do you Google like, hey, I want to sell things at Target? It's not like it's Amazon where you can just like set up a storefront.
Yeah,
do you have to have like a whole business development team for that?
No, I mean, to be fair, I'm probably what limited experience I have. It's different with local pastures because they're a small company. So I just went to them and knew a few people that work there and just kind of through that, hey, will you try these? I want to sell them for this price. How much do y'all need to buy them for with, for their margins? And then let me go run my numbers. Okay, let's do it. That's kind of what it was for them. I had a buyer for Central Market reach out early on in the process, and I just wasn't ready for that. But they have buyers that,
when you say not ready for that, just too big, too fast?
Scale, too big, too fast. It's just me. It's that would
Those are champagne.
I was making, my first order was for 1,000 raw pounds, which was probably close to 5,000 sticks. Those guys are asking for orders of 10x that.
Right.
Just I don't have, just don't have that capital. Just not ready. Don't have the infrastructure for that.
Also, like, how does that work? Do they guarantee you the sales, or like if?
I'm sure.
So let's say
it's different with every.
Yeah, but I would imagine it's like, hey, if we order 1,000 and they sell out in a couple of days, they're going to want like 1,000 more pretty damn quick.
Right.
Right. And so this is where a lot of people got themselves in trouble, like during COVID. Like Peloton was one where it was, hey, we're selling let's just, I don't know what the numbers would be.
Sure.
Let's say you're selling 100 bikes a month,
Right.
And then all of a sudden COVID hits, no one can go to the gym. So you go to selling 1,000 bikes a month,
Right.
You ramp up your production
Yeah.
to 1,500 because if market goes up, and you think that's going to be your life for the rest of the world because it takes 3 months to get together those things. But like if you're a place like Texas where we went from like phase 1 to phase fuck it in like 5 days, like all of a sudden, and so now you're sitting on all this inventory that's not moving.
That's the great. That's why some companies make it and some don't. Like that's the great problem in the forecasting and capital and all that. We were just out of product for probably a good 6-8 months because our labels took, instead of taking 4 weeks, they took 9.
Yeah.
And that alone just kind of backs up everything else.
Supply chain disruption.
So, it's like, even that's why like I'm grateful it's a small scale right now so we can work out those kinks. And then hopefully as we grow, we've kind of figured all that stuff out already.
Well, dude, slow wood grows slow.
Yeah.
Hardwood grows slow.
Yeah.
Hardwood grows slowest. One of those. Hardwood grows slow.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying. Take your time. But like, do you have a vision? Like, do you have like a, hey, we would like to hit this number in this many months, and you know what I mean? I know you don't want to go like $100 million in sales in like 6 months, but what are like the KPIs that are most of value to you?
Right now, it's still, I feel like it's still just getting feedback on it, word of mouth, seeing if there's people that are reordering, signing up for subscriptions. That's more of what I'm focused on now. I think we're still a little early on those kind of me thinking that way about the company, where it's like, all right, let's, I don't have it in my head of, all right, we need to make $1 million this year.
Right.
At some point we'll get there where we start forecasting that stuff. But right now it's more of, let's figure out the operations. Let's continue to put out a good product. Let's get good feedback. Let's maybe test at some point if stick half that size would do better in sales. So we're kind of still in the testing
I like
phase.
that it's a distinguishable that the size and the branding is a distinguishable. It's a visual distinguisher from the market
for sure,
which I think is will serve you very well.
I was tired of eating 2 and 3 of the other sticks because they just didn't have the fat content in them, so they weren't satiating. Yeah. So it was really, how do I make? Let's make it double the size.
This will fit in like a side pouch of a bag. Like they're not cumbersome. They're not heavy. You know what I mean? But you can, like, if you're out on a rock, or on a hike,
absolutely,
you can throw that in your back pocket or like in the side pocket of a cargo.
I had a lot of people taking them out on elk hunts last fall,
and what I love, like this sitting here, and like you don't smell that like where you would with like a beef jerky,
right?
Where it like you go to Buc-ee's and you get like a pound of jerky, like your car smells like jerky for the next like 6 hours
for sure,
right? This is clean, man.
Yeah, that was the point. Clean, simple, have it go good flavor by itself, but also not overpowering so that it'd be good with other stuff, whatever that may be.
Exactly.
I just kind of that original one, it really wanted it to kind of be the Swiss Army knives. It's the reason that's our first product.
I like it a lot. So. I want to pivot the conversation a little bit. I like, I'm a threat management guy. I'm a safety and security guy. I like talking to fathers who are also business owners. About the role of you as a father to provide and protect for your family. But also that of your business. Do they inform each other independently? Are they part of a collective? Do you see your business as like another part of the family? Would you ever let the business get in the way of providing and protecting your family? And what are some like the systems and strategies that you have found work best for you in both worlds and which also serve both masters?
Ooh, let's talk through this because I haven't really thought of it through that perspective. So number one, I'm 4.5 months into being a father. Still pretty early. As we said earlier, my son's got some health issues that we're driving back to and from the hospital all the time. And
but you also, at the very beginning of this conversation, made it very clear where your priorities lie.
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, I would never let the business chronically get in the way of family. Now, there certainly might be times where it's like, babe, I need you to do the next 2 feedings. I've got X amount of orders to get out. I got to figure, but like, yeah, the
but
goal.
That's also part of the partnership.
Sure.
Right.
But the goal would never to be like not there for your family,
right?
Physically or any of that. I mean, I'm in a fortunate situation because of the day job that I've still got, that I'm not really having to worry about keeping the lights on or food on the table or any of that. I would also
imagine that you, having a similar childhood to me, absent of a strong male role model, that you would want to make sure your
100%.
Child doesn't have that same experience.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so as far as the family goes, yeah, I mean, certainly want to be a present father, certainly want to, just teach him how to be a hardworking, problem-solving Southern gentleman. We already
savage in all of it.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, he's young, so we're still working on head control and all that. But I mean, every day I let him grab my fingers and then just roll him into a squat position, and then he just automatically wants to stand up. So we'll crush like 10 or 15 squats, and so doing that with him, and just always kind of finding ways of like, even when he grabs your fingers, just pull on him a little more. It's like, there's some resistance going on. So, like certainly my mind's thinking like that. And then as far as Tasha goes, I'll always want to provide and protect for her. I don't think that's probably more of an emotional thing.
Was there
in terms of like going out and, thinking bad guys are going to break into my house or anything like that? I mean, we've got guns and stuff too, if that happens.
Do you do like a 9 p.m. routine or anything? Like, hey, every night I make sure the doors are locked, windows are closed, like the alarm's turned on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always the last one in bed and checking that stuff for sure.
Did your like protective instincts get more evolved after I would say, 1, knowing she was pregnant, and 2, like after the child was born? Like, are you more vigilant? Same vigilance?
It probably. I mean, it was pretty.
You were not expecting this conversation.
No, it's a good question.
I'm just curious.
Like, I want to say yes, but I also was doing that stuff before,
right?
And so maybe it just gave it extra meaning.
Well,
maybe that's a way to put it.
I sometimes like talk to especially new fathers who will sometimes say things like, and there's no right or wrong to any of this. It's and everyone is different, but they'll be like, it'll be fine. Versus like, there's a kid now. Now I'm definitely gonna go double check.
Yeah, I mean, I
mean, like, they're less likely to be complacent.
I've got to. So my answer is yes, but and it actually goes back to Koozie.
Oh yeah. Well, first off, best home security possible.
Yeah. So I when I found out Tasha was pregnant, shortly I was already kind of wanting a dog.
Yeah.
But then he came up. He's a Belgian Malinois. There's a rescue in Houston. When I saw his picture on the internet, I was kind of like, I think that could be my dog.
Yeah.
Before I'd even seen him. Long story short, ended up getting him, but then I had 3 months to train him. I mean, at that point, he was a 7-month-old rescue dog that he had a different name, Cusco, and he could sit pretty good, but that was about it. And so
was he like abused or abandoned, or like what was any kind of like emotional?
He has a really good temperament especially for a mountain.
From what I've seen online, it looked great.
Yeah, he's got a phenomenal temperament. When we got him, I was putting meds on his rib because he had actually had a puncture wound in his side from being bit by a dog. But that didn't really affect. He didn't kind of come with any baggage aside from just being a 7-month-old Malinois.
Well, it's also different when another dog attacked him versus like if they were beaten by.
Sure. I'm not. He doesn't act like he's ever been beaten.
Good.
So he certainly in those first 6 months, I think, was in 3 or 4 different places.
Yeah.
Which also can cause some anxiety or something.
Well, also it takes them like 3 months on average, like to know that your home is theirs.
Yeah.
Or to like start feeling like their place is with you. and type of thing. Had you trained dogs before?
Not to the extent that I train him.
Yeah. And they require a lot of, Malinois are typically not pets. They're service. They're working dogs. Like it's a German Shepherd on steroids and crack.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
But they're wicked smart.
They're wicked smart.
Very loyal. Yeah,
they're wicked smart. I mean, he's a phenomenal dog.
Oh, you can tell he's a great dog just seeing the interactions with the two.
Yeah, but so when I got him, it was like I had 3 months until Rush was born, and so it was kind of like on the clock to be like, all right, I got to get this dog ready for a baby to be here. So we trained we train every day, but we trained a lot those first 3 months. Yeah. Careful not to overdo it, but I was probably towing that line. Mm-hmm. And then the goal has always been for Tasha to be able to take him anywhere she wants, off leash if need be, and for him to, at a minimum, be able to do deterrent work. Yep. Because if she's holding Rush, she can't be fighting with a dog that weighs half as much as she does. And we're there now. Yeah.
Well, also they're very in tune. They'll take their cue off you.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're afraid, they're going to be very protective.
For sure. I mean, we had I think I sent it to you, but we had a coyote out in the field the other day when we were out there.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah, it was about, there's some trees right when you walk in. It was on the other side of those trees. So I walked over and then kind of past that clearing, it was, 40 feet away. And so Kuzi was actually saw him, but he was just watching. So I just put him in his guard command, which is like his heel contact, and put him in his heel contact, started walking towards it, started telling him to give him warning barks. We've got a warn command that, so he started doing that. Coyote was backing up, and then when we hit the spot that the coyote was standing, because he kind of like went down, smelled it, and then started growling and like really like there was just a change in him. Coyote kept just walking back, and we just kind of gently walked him away from the field, and he went back in the woods behind it. But stuff like that, it was like cool to see it in
real time.
Yeah. But even, just when Tasha's walking him, like she'll bring him downtown sometimes, and she's like, "Man, it's great having it's a completely different experience walking with him versus not with him."
You typically pull up to like intersections, and there's like the guys with the koozies and or whatever that one. No one comes up to my truck.
Yeah.
No one comes up to
the truck. Yeah, for sure.
They just nod and just keep walking. No one comes up to the truck.
So so to the protection and that's a big one, is just getting the dog and training him
when
up.
You have like the 5 Ds of home security, right? Like deter, detect, deny, delay, defend. Dogs do all 5.
Yeah.
Right?
They're the best.
They know exactly there is no better protective posture than a fully grown GSD or a Malinois.
Absolutely.
Right. Their detection is next level. They're going to, deter, detect, right? Deny, you see a dog, it's going to not really,
He naturally had it in him. My mom was walking him one time, and there was in the neighborhood, and a guy was, just jogging, running around the neighborhood, but he was coming from behind, and Kuzi stopped, got in between them, faced the guy, and then, was just like kind of bowed up and was there, and he wasn't pulling on my mom or anything, but the guy made the guy stop running, and he crossed the road, and he was like, "That's a good dog you got." This is 2 months into having him, and he was like, "Is that thing trained out? Like, does he bite?" And she was like, "Only when I tell him." Such a good 67-year-old mom, saying, sweet lady saying that, and so he's got it in him, and
yeah. Well, I mean, so it's interesting when you're like building protection teams and you're doing dogs, you kind of want a male and a female, because the males are naturally territory protective, like property protective, and females will go to the handler.
Okay.
First, so if there's an invasion, like the male will go to the threat, and the female will come to the protector or to the handler or the principal or whoever it is. But when you are out in the world, you're their home,
right?
So now they're fiercely protective of you.
Yeah, absolutely,
which is really great. Yeah, the dog is a great investment in.
It's the best. It's the best.
It will never negotiate against its instincts,
right?
Ever, right? Like we may be like, what was that loud crash? Like, it's probably nothing. But I remember someone tried to break into my house once.
Okay.
It's like 12:30 in the morning. It's a couple years ago. And I went to bed, and I used to live on West Mary Street, and so there was a corner bar across the street, and there was another place. And so usually around 1:30, like they're like throwing the trash into the dumpster, and like so you'd hear some like loud noises or something. And I was always hear Ronan like his head would like poke up. And on this one night,
Yeah, it's different.
and I was like, "Ooh, what's going on?" I look over and like I see all the cameras, and like through like the blackout curtains, I see that the motion light in my driveway is turned on. So I pull up and I see this guy. He had like tried to come into the front door. He was like walking around to go into the back, and I was like, "Wrong house, buddy."
Yeah, jeez.
I was actually excited. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna recertify." I haven't gone from like a dead sleep to like up and ready like that fast since like overseas, and so I took Ronan and put him out the back door.
Oh yeah.
And I was going to come out the front door and just like trap the guy in the middle.
Jesus.
And Ronan was so effective. But by the time I pied out the front door, the guy was already down the driveway. I'm like, making it right. He was like, "Dad, I did good, didn't I?"
Oh my goodness.
The one thing that saved that guy's life is that when Ronan was like 2.5 years old, he figured out I had like he like came up the driveway, went past the truck, and like to get into the backyard was like a chain link fence, and it had like that little like latch. And he figured out if he popped that latch open with his head, he could push the fence open.
Okay.
So I put bungee cords.
Okay.
Right. And the guy had taken off 2 of the bungee cords.
Oh man.
And he had one left as Ronan came around the corner, and that just scared the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah.
That bungee cord literally saved his life.
Yeah. I mean, the wrong house.
That's right. It's like you don't know how
just
close that guy came to getting painted on a fence. And it was just like, I called it in and they caught him. Like, it was just drug seeking behavior. It was just like trying doors and looking in medicine cabinets. And they caught him like, half a mile down.
Oh, man.
But man, bad day for that guy.
Wow.
Bad day.
Good story.
Yeah, it was a good story. Dude, this is very cool. The products are awesome. You're a super cool dude. I'm glad that Mary and Andrew connected us. I end every podcast by asking my guests 5 questions.
Okay.
These 5 questions have absolutely nothing to do with anything we've discussed up until this point.
All right.
Just like cool questions to ask my guests, give it a little more context into who you are as a person. Question number 1, aliens.
All right.
Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Like on West 6th Street or like Elon Musk or like out at Area 51 or just out in the universe somewhere? I don't disagree with you. I'm just curious as to your perspective.
Man, kind of the older I get, the more I think that they're here.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, just the universe is too big.
Yeah, but yeah, the laws of averages. Yeah, it's like too much. Yeah, exactly. Question number 2. You can go. I'm not going to ask you that one because you already have a dog. Dinner party.
Okay.
You can invite it's you plus 4.
Okay.
Anytime in history, anyone you want. Who are you inviting?
Can they be from different times in history? Okay. I think I'm not a very religious person, but I think it'd be like Jesus, Muhammad, Gandhi, not Gandhi, Buddha, and then some representative from Hinduism. And I would love it. And I'd love to sit them at a table and be like, "Guys, we got to figure this out." I think that to me would be an interesting conversation.
That's the UN.
Yeah.
Right there.
Like, guys, we got to sort this out,
Let me tell you
fellas.
something. I, in my old job, had the very good fortune of seeing a lot of the world.
Sure.
I did like 300 protective missions, like 163 different countries.
Amazing.
There's like 186 countries total. But by and large, everywhere I went, people were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Completely agree.
I've been to Gaza. I've been to Lebanon. I've been to everywhere. Africa.
Completely agree.
Right? Everyone's pretty cool.
Yep.
But geography, religion, and politics are like the holy trinity of instability.
Yep.
And so anytime there's any of this like bullshit going on in the world, I'm just like, hey, someone's benefiting from this, and figure out who that is, and whatever. Question number 3. Oh, by the way, what are you serving at that meal? Is that vegetarian? Is that meat sticks? Is that ManBar?
Oh, I mean, I think you got to do a few different things. I'm guessing.
Is that a Jay Carver steak and potato dinner? What is that?
Well, you can't do beef because
the
Hindu thing. I don't know if Buddha
Mexican
is vegetarian. I think you got to do like a little buffet style assortment.
Yeah,
make everyone happy.
A little Lebanese taverna, right? Go tame the Abba.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
That'll be good. Question number 3. You have a time machine.
Okay.
You can go anywhere in the past you want. Can't go forward. Can only go back.
Okay.
Spend as long as you want. when you come back, you can share the experiences that you had. You can't change anything.
Sure.
So like,
Just
you can't kill
fly on the
Hitler.
wall.
You can't,
Yeah.
but like you can interact. You can, but you won't change anything. Where are you going?
Where am I going in history?
Some people have gone like, some guys want to go see the Battle of Thermopylae. Some people want to go see like the pyramids get built. Some people want to go walk with Jesus. Some people, I've had people say they want to go back and see their parents when they were kids.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That would not be my choice.
Maybe go check out something during the Roman Empire time.
Okay.
Maybe
Like the Colosseum, Gladiator
Colosseum,
days?
Gladiator, something like that.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Let's see Roman Empire. Question number 4. When you are feeling stuck or something's not going your way or you're confronted by an especially like difficult time in your life, is there a mantra or a phrase or a quote that you find yourself returning to help you establish a return to normalcy?
A quote comes to mind, but it's not one that I like go back to. So
it doesn't necessarily need to be a quote, but like if you're in that time, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Where we get stuck. Like,
yes. So I would say that the Lion Tracker's Guide to Life. Have you read that book?
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm going, but I know exactly how to get there.
Exactly.
So
It's been the core testament of most of my life.
Yeah, that comes to mind, but that's not something I would say during that time. But that would be kind of principally, I'd just go back to.
Yeah, like mine is like this too shall pass.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, but principally, it's I'm looking at when I get in those moments or get stuck. I just go back to kind of the foundation and
first principles
first principles, and have a lot of conversations with myself, not self-doubting ones or boo-hoo ones, but just what are all the perspectives of this situation?
It's like a self-audit?
Kind of.
Like auditing yourself with honesty type of thing?
Yeah, for sure. So like with my son,
yeah.
You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, how are you doing? Like, are you depressed? Are you this? Are you that? And it's like, well, no, because it could be worse. He could have not made it. It could be something, everything's fixable. It could be not fixable. Yes, we spent 33 days in the NICU. It could have been 6 months. So it's, I kind of always do that just to maybe realign what I'm going through.
Are you and everything happens for a reason guy?
I don't think there's a preordained.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fate.
Everything happens, and it's what you make of it. I don't know if that's what you're asking.
There have been times in my life where I've like really wanted something or like worked really hard for something that like didn't get it.
Okay.
But it was because there was something better waiting around the corner. And if I had actually gotten what I wanted, I would have actually been almost like sabotaging my own success.
Yeah.
But what I was doing was in service of what I didn't know was coming.
Sure.
So it was almost like I was preparing. I thought I was preparing for one fight, but it was actually preparing me for this other thing.
Well, I think that goes back to the quote I just said of, I don't know where I'm going, but I know exactly how to get there. I would say that it's the act of doing that work and working that hard and chasing something that started motion towards you getting, and maybe you got to it, and subconsciously or consciously, like that's not the thing, but this is. And so it's just the act of doing that led you to wherever you needed to end up at that time.
Yeah.
That's how I would.
That's a great answer. Speaking of first principles.
Yes.
Have those remained the same, or have any of them changed after becoming a father? Like the first principles of who you are.
I mean, yeah, because now he's above, like he comes before me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly I have to, like I can't quit on myself and just become a blob and lazy and all that, because all my attention's going to him. Like I still have to be peak me.
Yeah.
So that I can be peak dad.
Yeah.
And peak partner to Tasha and all that. But
I'm not a dad. I would love to be, but I'm not. Maybe one day. Although I'm fucking 50.
I'm 40.
It's a devastating decrescendo from.
Can we talk about that after this?
Sure.
After these questions?
Absolutely. but it's like I kind of just like live my life every day to try to be the man my dog thinks I am.
Okay.
Is it the same with having a son?
Sure.
Like he sees you as this like,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm very conscious of just how I am around him and how I am around Tasha, especially when he's there. Not that I'm two different people, but it's, I want him to see me loving on her and
how to model what a healthy masculine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, for sure that.
What did you want to ask?
Yeah, what's the deal? So no kids, 50, want them, didn't want them?
No, well, you know the Ronin story. So it's like for a long time I didn't love myself. So how could I expect someone else to love me?
Okay. How long ago was that up to?
Like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like once I got my mind right and got all the suicidal ideation out of myself, it's like, for a long time, because my biological father left and when I was a kid, and it's kind of like adopted by my stepdad who like kind of like mentored me and went to be a man. So for a long time I was like, fine like with ending the line, but then it's like I kind of do want to like pay my stepfather back and like kind of. So I don't know. I have like great nieces and nephews, and I love being like an awesome uncle. And it's a lot of fun. And having kids is something that I think I'd be like real. Like if I was in a relationship with someone and she came in and she was like, we're pregnant, like nothing would make me happier.
Sure.
But it's not like a deal breaker for me.
Sure.
It would be like a nice cherry on top of an already awesome sundae.
It's not something you're like actively pursuing at the moment.
No.
Are you actively are you dating anyone? Are you actively pursuing that?
Dating.
Okay.
But no one's like, this is the one.
Okay.
Hoping to find her. I'm actually in therapy right now with a relationship coach.
Okay.
Who specializes in helping successful CEOs to not sabotage their success when it comes to their love life.
Okay.
Which apparently there's a lot of us.
Give me an example if you don't mind.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Totally. So she was like, well, what are you looking for like in a partner? I was like, a supermodel with a law degree. And she was like, no, but seriously. I was like, listen, I want what every guy wants. I want someone who like can anticipate my needs as well as I can anticipate theirs. Like I want someone who's, emotionally compatible, intellectually compatible, like physically and sexually compatible. I want someone who can who believes in me more than I believe in myself, and whose goals for me are higher than, and will help me to achieve those goals so that I can make her not just happy but proud. And she was like, all right, well, so how long did you have Ronin before? She's like, so you want someone to like anticipate your needs and who can like know when you need to be left alone or knows when you need a sandwich or no.
Sure.
I was like, yeah. She's like, well, how long did you have Ronin before he saved your life? I was like, about 3 years. And she's like, okay. So would it have been reasonable for you to expect Ronin to know to do that in 3 months?
Right.
I was like, no. And she's like, okay, so you're expecting the deliverables of 3 years and 3 months. Is that realistic?
Gotcha.
I was like, fuck. That's a really good point. And she's like, yeah, you have, that comes with the time of investment and energy and love and commitment and respect so that you see each other from the high and low so that they can, but like that is something that is the reward of investment.
Do you think that you were, were you putting those maybe unfair?
Oh, like a covert contract on a intimate partner?
On dates. And, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I also was like, for a long time was only finding people that were like trauma, that I could trauma bond with, who were also toxic and codependent.
Sure.
So that we were either only fucking or fighting.
Yeah. And
as soon as I felt that divide start to widen, I would just end it because I knew I have such an abandonment trigger that I would just end it before you left me.
Okay.
Or I would start just holding what's called a covert contract, where you like hold them to standards to a game they don't even realize that they're playing. Yeah, no, I was horrible. I was a fucking awful boyfriend for almost all of my life.
And then, wow. Now, and then, not wow as in like I'm judging you, but just like, wow, what a journey.
Yeah. No, post that, like the guy sitting across from the table from you right now is a very different guy than the first like 44 years of my life.
And so now you're kind of maybe not super actively pursuing relationships, but you really like one. And
oh, I love women.
Yeah.
Women are the essence of life.
Yeah, but that, I mean, it's different from.
No, I am no longer interested in dating just to date. I am dating for a partner now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I found, sorry, I'm digging into all these questions, but it's, I always am curious about, because I'm 40, just had our first kid, been with Tasha for several years now though, but it was, for me, I was very casual. I was fine with being alone, all of those things, until I realized that was probably fear and insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, when I made up where I was like, no, like, kind of man up.
Yeah.
And when I made that, it's kind of when I made the decision of like, no, let's do this right and let's properly. And it was just like, all my communication was way better, certainly not perfect, but just everything became easier after that. And just everything became very simple. And she and I have an unbelievable relationship that, I mean, I think the world of her.
When you met her, was it casual and then it became serious? Or when you met her, did you like kind of know that it was something
When
more?
I first saw her, in my head, my first words were, "Oh, fuck." Because I just knew there was something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was more casual because she wasn't living here. She was travel nursing and did that kind of all through COVID and all that. Whenever she'd come in town, we'd hang out and spend time together. But
that was more about circumstance.
Yeah. But even when she moved back, she was dating someone else. We were still friends, then she went through a bad breakup, said she was like not going to date for a while and all that. And I was like, well, can we still be friends and hang out? And so we just had like several months where I knew she didn't want to date anyone and I wasn't really, it's not that I was waiting for her, but it was just, I was enjoying hanging out with her. And then, after a few months, it was like, all right, what are we doing? And we just had it was the first relationship I went into very intentionally, where it was like, look, I like you, you like me. Here's I don't have many rules, but you have to talk to me. If you can do that and you can agree to that, I know I can love you very well. I can be a very good partner, but like, I need that from you. If we talk we can get through anything if we talk.
Yeah. And communication is, everyone I talk to says like, there's no communication, it's dead.
It's the only thing, because everything else is based on that.
Yeah.
It is the only thing. And so we have been, I mean, gosh, for the probably first 2 years together, every Sunday, we kind of developed the habit of talking every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. We'd have no phones, no nothing. We'd sit down. What's going on? What's going on in your life? What's in your head? What are you struggling with? What are you working on? What are you happy? Can I do something better? We were reading some books together. And what did you think about that chapter? Stuff like that.
I love that. And
so we developed that habit, and now we don't do them as often, but it's kind of because now we can do it in real time.
Right.
Especially when things are, just little headbutting and stuff like that.
Who modeled that need for, or that the importance of communication for you?
I've got a really good friend, and he's actually a personal trainer. His name's Will Chung. He's phenomenal. But
Is he here in Austin?
No, he's in New Jersey. But yeah, I've worked with him for a long time, and it was kind of, I guess, my form of therapy. And it's just, a dojo for communication, and uncomfortable conversations and all that. And so that was kind of my,
like a sweat and surrender.
Yeah, that was where I kind of learned it all, and learned just how to speak up and communicate clearly and understand when I don't understand, or all of that. And so that became really the backbone of our relationship, and it's not a surprise to me that it's gone as well as it has, because we've gotten that right.
Yeah,
sure, we you butt heads every once in a while, but there's never been a bad We have like 30-second arguments, and they're not even arguments. It's just
I have my best friend Justin and his partner Genevieve. One of the things I love about their relationship is
Mahali.
I'm sorry,
Justin Mahali.
No, but
Okay.
Justin's a good friend too.
Okay.
He's been on the podcast. He's with us, Sammy.
Okay. I did his podcast, my second podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a fucking dude. He's got that voice, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's fucking great. No, he was the one not too long ago. There's there's like 3 or 4 people that have been on like twice. Mary's one, Justin's one,
Okay.
my best friend Justin, Bronya. So Justin and Genevieve and Genevieve and Chris and Cody are like 2 of my like relationship goal couples.
Okay.
But what I love about Justin and Genevieve is like we can be like walking home. They live downtown, so we'll be out to dinner, and I'll sometimes like walk back to their place, and then I'll go from there. They could like get in a fight walking out of the restaurant, and like in a block later, it'd be like lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, you have to you can't avoid conflict, but it also, you got to know that like that's not the point of the conflict. Isn't the point of it. You can't avoid it, but like you have to address things, but then address them and get over it, rather than holding on to things.
Well, also like it's you and the person versus the problem, not you two versus the thing. And also I think there's what I've always appreciated about them is they always fight fair.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Like they always fight fair. It's like, yeah, you do this, but when you do this, it makes me feel like, you know what I mean? So it's like, even when they're getting agitated, they're like being very intentional about what they're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's very important.
That
versus
sounds
like you're
how,
a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
right.
That's
like
how
now
Tosh and I are. Or it's like, let's address this issue and then get back to liking each other.
Yes. Like, right. This will end with, I still love you.
Right.
Probably more.
Yeah. And I think that, that's just I don't know, that's just a maturity thing too. Cause certainly, I don't know, I feel like a lot of guys that I talk with now there's all this male female divisiveness, at least in the online and masculinity talk, and I feel like sometimes it gets lost on what that actually means, of just, they think they got to be these big tough guys and kind of lead and do as I say and all that, and I think it's more like servant leadership.
One of the best quotes I ever read, I'm probably gonna fuck it up, but it was something along the lines of, what if he could find his God in her, in kneeling, not in worship, but in devotion? And what if she could find her God in him, in being held, she could finally let go of everything?
That's nice. That sums it up.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'd be okay with that.
Well, man, I hope I'll say my mom had my sister at 47. And I know a lot of people have had kids in their 50s and all that, so.
Yeah,
You got it.
I wouldn't be opposed to her being a little younger than me.
Sure.
Trevor Gibbs, ladies and gentlemen, if people want to learn more, where's a good place for them to go? Have you gotten on the socials now that you have a company?
So we do have an Instagram.
Okay.
It's at TryManBar, TryManBar. And then our website is the same thing, trymanbar.com.
These are excellent.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Try ManBar. They're good. Thanks, brother.
Dude, thank you.
Cheers.